Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is doing well. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Coach Anwar. I am a dating coach for Black and Brown women, and I'm here to say hello. I'm here to help you level up your dating life. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Let me get my chest together, honey. Some of you girls don't know about all this up here, honey. That's okay, I'll teach you about it. Hello, everyone. Hello, Fran. Hello, OG, Bob Lala. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Bunny. Hey, Christina. Hey, Lady View. Hey, Miss Mika. I'm gonna help you level up your love life because I'm tired of all of you all saying things like, I don't know how to date, or it's not working for me, or there aren't any good men out there. Give me some other excuses that you've been giving, girl. Put them in the chat. I want to hear the excuses. I want to hear the excuses because we're getting people into relationships every other day. And I don't care if you're in Texas, Atlanta, Florida, California. We just had someone today get into a relationship in LA. So let me hear the excuses. And I'm going to knock them out one by one. Hello, not picking up. Hey, Naya. How do we deal with baby daddies? We don't. If he has long fingernails, he's a baby daddy. If he has stank breath, he's a baby daddy. If he invites you to his house for a first date, he's a baby daddy. Part of not dealing with baby daddies is actually not engaging with them. If he approaches you in the wild, he's a baby daddy. Okay? We don't talk to baby daddies. Do you understand? Do you need some other ways to actually figure out if he's a baby daddy or not? If he says things like big money, big mama, he's a baby daddy. Right. Baby daddies usually have biblical names. So he's a baby daddy. Okay? Usually baby daddies don't eat well. So if he eats Pop-Tarts and Lay's potato chips too often, he's a baby daddy. If he needs to have a beer after work, if he is smoking on that ganja, he's a baby daddy. If he fist fights in public, he's a baby daddy. Are we getting it, honey? Are we understanding? Do we understand what's going on here? If he eats cereal for dinner, he's a baby daddy. If he doesn't have a headboard, he's a baby daddy. If he doesn't make reservations, he's a baby daddy. If he buys you the grocery brand name and not the real brand name when he's at the grocery store, he's a baby daddy. I'm gonna tell it like it is. You know why? Because I have been chatting with some of the higher ups in entertainment, and they don't like when I talk about hood ninjas. They don't like when I talk about black men. They don't like when I talk about baby daddies. But you know what? I'm going to continue to do it because y'all know what I'm talking about, and no one's talking about it. I'm going to. Yeah? Because we have to keep it real. No one's telling the real tea because no one wants to kick the black man when he's down. Why is he down? So once Harmony said, I love this energy, villain era Anwar. There's really no villain like energy here. I'm literally just gonna keep it real with you all because I think that you are deserving of that. I'm not fucking Tyler Perry. I'm not gonna talk about how you should struggle and then suddenly wait for some black man to have some reawakening and become Christian and now you all can get married. I'm not gonna do that because that's not real life. And I don't want you. Love isn't about suffering. That's not what it looks like. To be honest with you, love is actually really freaking easy. And it's easy because you want to be with someone who has the emotional communication skills and emotional regulation skills to actually be able to resolve conflict. No more settling. No more struggling. I don't know what else to say. It's like they want to enslave you in your dating and love lives. And it's crazy to me. Do you understand that for 100 black women, it's not 88 black men anymore, it's 83. Girl, they're dying right in front of us. So 5 black women to 4 black men, that's the ratio. If you want to keep on fighting and competing for 83 black men for 100 women, by all means, don't do that. And we haven't even talked about the consistency of the 83 black men that are there. Let's just put 10 to 20% of them gay. But you don't see me though. You don't see me though. You don't see me though. Because no shade, girl. No shade. I can take them. I can take them. I'm being very generous. Sugar daddy generous when I say 10 to 20%. No shade though. No shade. No shade. So, we've gone from 83 to what? 66, 67? Let's talk about the ones that are in jail. Let's take another 10% away. So now we're at 60. Now let's incorporate the ones that are poor. Poor. Impoverished. Let's say 50% of them. That's no shade. That's no shade. So now we're talking about 30. 30. 30. 30. Someone's doing the real math. They're not doing that back of the envelope math. Someone said 22. Now let's talk about married. That's a quarter of them. Yeah? Let's subtract 8. So now we got about 20. So for 100 black women, we're not talking about your ish, because Lord knows some of y'all not ready. You got 20 black men. And I haven't even talked about hygiene. I haven't even talked about if they are, like you or not. So when I say, if you in Atlanta, DC, that there are 8 to 10 women chasing after one man, don't come for me. Because the baseline is 1 to 5. It's 1 to 5. It's 1 to 5. So right off the bat, just think about that for a second. With that said, when I say things like date everyone, I need you to date everyone so that y'all can be dating at a 1-to-1 ratio. Y'all doing the same thing that the Wonder Woman were doing on that island with all the women, honey. Talking amongst yourselves. Someone said, Anwar, I think I truly just want a wife at this point. All right, stud. Tell me about it, stud. Okay? Someone said, I don't want to. I don't care. Do it. You want to get married? Do you want, because you don't have to get married, right? This isn't our mother's or grandmother's situation. What can you do? What's the solution? You date everybody. If you in LA, I'm going to tell you some tea. Because I just saw Soraya said, I'm in LA, open to all races. You got to be. My clients in LA, you know who they're getting with? Not those black men, hunty. Because those girls, those men are going for the white and the Hispanic girls. My girls in LA are getting with Hispanic and Middle Eastern men. And they're happy. Someone said, do you have clients in DC? I have clients everywhere. BTW. So, Mars said Dr. Umar would not like this message. Dr. Umar is a deadbeat dad who doesn't even have his own family unit in order. I don't listen to men that are baby daddies, and you shouldn't either. I want us to be really clear about who we listen to, and are they practicing what they preach? Don't come into my live talking about Dr. Umar. Don't talk to me about the baby mothers that he has and the broken families that he's created. I want to know, is the school running? That's what I want to know. Because we do have a literacy issue in this country. I hear crickets, and I know it's my luxurious backyard. Okay? Yes, honey. I guess the school is running, but everyone's absent. Yeah? Okay. With that said, what dating questions do you have, ladies? What are the dating questions? Because I'm not playing games. I'm not. I can't. Not anymore. Not when you have... Here's what I think is really important. When people are talking about the struggle for the Black community, what I think is important to also talk about is how at each step of the way in the history for Black America, Black Americans, that there's been a very systematic effort for Black women not to have love. From slavery times to Reconstruction to civil rights movement and welfare phenomenon. I think it's very important for y'all to understand. It is not just, and I'm sharing this with you because, and y'all, I'm writing my book, so y'all gotta know, right? During the Reconstruction, yet all of these Black people migrating to the North, Black men couldn't get jobs, so they stayed in the South. Black women got jobs working for white families, and so they stayed in the North. So every step of the way has made it harder for Black women to actually marry and couple. It's very important. So I'm sharing this with you because I think it's important for you to understand why it can be very challenging for Black women to date. And that's, if you're trying to figure out what's wrong with me, I need you to understand that there is a historical effort to make it as hard and as difficult for you to find love. And in some moments in history, it was illegal. So, I want to share that because that's why I do what I do. That's why I want to make sure that y'all know how to navigate this, because there's a lot of things happening in the background. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to get off of my soapbox, because it's annoying when people are on their soapbox. I understand that. And we're going to get into what's going on in your dating life right now. Yeah? Mel Rankin on IG said, are Middle Eastern men checking for Black women? They sure are. They sure are. But you're going to need to come correct. You're going to need to be on your A confidence game. On a scale from 0 to 10, your confidence needs to be a 9 or a 10. If you want to get with a Middle Eastern man. Yeah? So, I just want to offer that, okay? Someone said, how soon is it okay to become exclusive? Generally, I would recommend 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months. Jen J said, your opinion on the importance of physical attraction. It is a very important part of dating. At least, unless you're dead down there. And respectfully speaking, many of us grew up thinking that sex was the devil. So, y'all, we got to catch up. And if you can't catch up while you're married, where can you catch up? Andrika said, Anwar, I loved your interview with Shan. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate that. Okay, let me scroll back up because I know some of y'all are talking about it. Okay, so I was talking about baby daddies. Is that off the table now? Are we not going to engage in that anymore? Thank you. A man's taking me shopping on the first date. How do I act? Don't act brand new, but also, for me, that's a red flag. I don't really even talk about red flags. I would never do this because straight off of the gate, now you're indebted to him. And you will have an active or even passive pressure around how you might compensate for this. And he might expect you to do so. I want to offer something to you, and it's going to sound harsh, but I want to be 100% true with you. If he's doing this with you on the first date, he's doing it with every other woman, and you're not special. It's part of his game, girl. He's buying you. And that's what men do for SWs. So I wouldn't take it as something that's special. If anything, I would slow the hell down and see how he reacts to you changing up the pace. Because love bombers don't like that. Okay? And again, shared with love and respect, there's no judgment here. I'm more focused on your safety and less about what it looks like. Because Lord knows I've had my Trina moments. Specifically in college. I don't think I would have graduated college if the Trina didn't jump out on me and I was getting money, honey. Okay. Coco Sweetie said, what if you've never been in a relationship? Well, one, I think it's important for you to understand that's the case for so many women, specifically women of color, just based on how you're raised. And so I don't want you to think like, oh my God, I'm so weird because I've never been in a relationship. I want you to understand that you don't need to do something to actually be able to do it. Right? For many of us, we were the first to go to college in our family. You didn't see it. You didn't have it before, but you were able to do it. For many of us, we were the first in our families to get those big jobs. You didn't have evidence in your history that you could do it, but you did it. And so I just want to transfer that logic to this as well. That just because you haven't done it in the past doesn't mean that you're never going to experience that. But I do think it requires a different skill set. It's one of the things that I teach my clients in terms of understanding that dating is a skill and you get to learn it and you get to have strategy around it. So if you are interested in doing this work and doing it on a more personal level, book a consultation call. The link is in my bio and we'll figure out if it's a good fit or not. Okay? I would do it soon because the price is going up, honey. The price is going up. Sorry to tell ya, but that's what it is, honey. We're getting, the results are too good. Okay? I have 6 coaches that are working under me, and we get the girls together. Okay? So, if you want to get into this, hop on now, honey. Alrighty? Okay. Let's see what these general questions are. Oh, and by the way, how can we work under you? Girl, you can apply send in a resume or cover letter, but I'm not really looking at this moment, but we can keep your file. We can keep your file. And when we do open up, because once the book comes out, the TV show comes out, the business is going to double, maybe even triple. Yeah. Abby said, where do I find palm-colored men? Do you mean white men? Yeah. They're everywhere, unfortunately. So, girl, they're at work. Girl, anytime you're shopping, they're there. You know, you gotta fish where the fishies are. Right? So, I mean, you know, okay, let me be honest. If I were looking for a white man, I would go to Bass Pro Shop. I would go to AutoZone. I would go to Home Depot at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Yeah, all of that. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Jetta said, if not on the apps and I move to Portugal, how do you meet guys? The Portuguese men will meet you. They don't have a problem talking to you on the street. They don't. They don't. So you won't have to do anything. Okay? Someone said Bass Pro Shop is conservative. No. They're kind of all conservative. To be honest with you, like very liberal white men scare me. They're kind of almost as scary as the conservative white men. And it is because it's like, you know, the movie Get Out, right? That there's still this infantilizing that happens on that side that I don't like. It's also, sometimes it's a fetish thing, and sometimes it's a, look how woke I am, I have a black woman on my arm. So, both extremes, there are issues I just want to offer. And I've seen it, right? As a dating coach for 15 years, you know, that's not the be-all, end-all. Ulani said, why do I keep attracting Hispanic men? Is it something that I'm giving off? They like rounder women in general. So if you're a bit, you know, you got some curves on you, they can't help it, girl. No shade, girl. If you look like a burrito, girl, round, honey, they into it. So you can't help what your mama gave you. Okay. Let me see what questions we got going on here. And by the way, people are asking how can they work with me. I work with women that are 26 and older. She said she does. Of course you got the curves, girl. That's why they into you. So if you're not that age or older, then you need to wait or you should buy a course. But the coaching programs are really for women that are in marriage age, right? Most educated men are interested in getting married around the age of 32, research says. So we're really looking for, we want to work with people. And generally, women who come into my program are looking to get married. Okay. Pal says, what does confidence look like? I think the better question is, what does confidence feel like? And it feels like you're untouchable. Have you ever been on Have you ever just been like on top of the world? Someone said, do you have an age cap? I don't. Literally last week, we got a woman that was 65 years old into a relationship in California. We just brought in somebody who's in her 70s in the program. Honey, they getting it in, honey. Honey, these seasoned women, girl, they letting these old geezers have it, honey. I love working with women that are 65 plus. We always get them in relationships. Yeah. Someone said, I believe confidence is humility. I don't. Not in this day and age. Respectfully speaking, I do think in dating and relationships, humility was cute before the 2000s. Now, it won't get you much of anything. It might get you walked on. And I don't want that for you or anyone. Okay. Alexis said the men in DC aren't serious. They are serious. They're serious about their career. And once they feel like they're in a stable place, and this is the case for most bigger cities, then they'll settle down. But a lot of men are not going to be settling down until they're in their later 30s or 40s. Because they got to feel like they're winning. These are the guys are about something. But as costs go up, it feels harder and harder for men to feel like they are stable. And now I want to tell y'all we're in a recession, honey. And many of y'all know that, given the fact that 300,000 jobs of black women have been lost this year. It's really going to take a longer time for them to want to get into relationships, but also want to get married. I'm actually going to a wedding of a client's next Sunday. Yeah. Someone said, can you do a dating show? Single men and single women. I don't want to do that. I work with women. Black women, women of color. That's it. Yeah, I'm not here to like do the whole pop the balloon situation. That it gets toxic real quick. Someone keeps on asking about Swedish men. Why, girl? Why? What is the fixation with Swedish men? The thing about Nordic men is that they're very egalitarian, and at first they will make everything 50-50. If you want to get a Nordic man, one, a lot of them are gorgeous, so you got to be given gorge. If you want like a tippity top man. The other thing that I would say is you got to have a personality. You got to have a personality, because respectfully speaking, they're very conservative and boring, and actually being, an energetic American actually goes a very long way for the Nordics. Yeah. Someone said, do I work with white women? We have to talk to you first to make sure that you are good to work with, right? The thing about my community is that, we have a variety of different women, but I would say 80-85% of the women are black. And we don't just let any old white woman into this very sacred space. I have probably 3 to 5 white women that we're working with right now. Because the space is centered on the Black and brown experience. And if you feel good, oftentimes taking a step back from something that we're talking about, like if we're having a conversation about how your mom, relaxed your hair at 5 and it changed your identity, you might not know about that. And so we have to be in the learning perspective when it comes to that. And some Caucasian women might not be there, and that's okay too. Someone said, you don't think that's very racist? No, not at all. Not at all. I want to ask you something, Jazzy Gal. I want you to think about the number of dating coaches or businesses out there that are really focused on a Caucasian market. So this business is focused on a specific challenging experience. So we're focused on that. That's what we do. Yeah. It's a specialty, right? So, but I get this DM all the time. I get a lot of white women in my DMs like, hey, can I work with, girl? Apply, see if you get in. But it's Harvard, girl. But it's Harvard. Not everybody gets in. Yeah? And that's okay. Sure, we have a little bit of affirmative action, but not a lot. Yeah. Good. All right, let's get back to the dating here. Monty says, you're so handsome. I'm married with children. Don't come for me, Monty. Ladies, if there is a man that comes at you and his name ends in 2 vowels, block him immediately. Thank you. I'm not doing it today, honey. When should you meet his family? Probably in the first... It depends. Parents are a little bit different, and there are different cultural norms associated with it. But if you haven't met his parents within the first 9 months of a relationship, he don't want it. Okay? But definitely in the first 6 months, I would say. Okay. Heartbeat Vibe said, oh no, I'm seeing a man named Monty. Girl, block him now. Nothing good could come from a name like that. No shade. Cocoa Lizzie said, I'm in New York. Oh my God, there's so many chats going on here. Let me see if I can hold on to this. He's in Miami. When he came to New York, oh my God. People, stop chatting on IG so I can get to this question. Oh my God. Girl, they're chatting too much. You're gonna have to bring that question back. She said she's not blocking him. All right, girl, let's talk in a month. What are you looking for in a client? Bree says, Brianna. I'm looking for someone that is open to doing things differently. We're looking for clients that are coachable. If we have to go back and forth with you, we're not gonna get anywhere. We can do that, and we've done it before, but if we have to convince you for 6 months to do what we want you to do, you've already cut the program in half. Yeah? So we're not gonna have time to do what we really need to do. Queen AC said, my dating life is so boring, Anwar. I want to be honest with you, and I said this to some of my clients last night in my Q&A call. It takes two to tango. So if your dating life is boring, you might be boring a little bit, girl. And that's no shade. That, part of living a fulfilled and fun life is being fulfilled and fun. Okay, here we go. We hung out 5 times. This is the guy from Miami. He's Dutch. He booked flights for me in 4 weeks. We're texting. Now I'm black and 27. He's Dutch and 41. What's the question, girl? What's the question? While you're getting the question together, someone asked, how can I make this man obsessed with me? Your job is not to make men obsessed with you. If you're doing that, you've already lost. You already don't have authentic power in your dating life. The way that people become obsessed with you is when you're obsessed with yourself. When your life is full and it's on display. And people can see you doing what you are on this earth to do. Part of obsession is being fully in love with yourself, and not from a superficial standpoint, because I want to tell you that it's not the mani-pedis, it's not the massages that are going to show you that you love yourself. It's when someone tries to come for you and you can't even hear them because you're so in love with yourself, and nothing will be able to slide that away from you. Yeah? Yeah. The other thing that I would say is that you don't want men to be obsessed with you unless you want to be part of what? Season 4 or 5 of the show You? Obsession is deadly. Obsession is scary. So, you don't want men to be obsessed with you. You want men to be a little bit afraid of you. That's what you're aiming for. Because if they're a little bit afraid of you, it means that they respect you wholeheartedly. And they're going to do everything. It's like that strict teacher. You were a little bit afraid, but you respected her down. Right? That's the dynamic that you really want. Okay. Okay. Takes 3 said, I'm moving to Chicago next year. Good dating zone. One of my clients just got engaged there like 2 weeks ago. What race should I go for? Okay, first of all, if you're saying things like, who should I go for? You've already lost. We're not going for anyone or anything. We're just going to do us. Okay? That's very important. And I'm saying this too because it's almost like a limiting mindset. What you want to do is, again, live your life, make sure that it's full, have fun, flirt and banter, attract a lot of people, and choose from the people that are living for you and providing for you. Right? So, and that can be anyone. I'm not concerned about what the package looks like. Well, depends on the package, girl. I'm concerned about what certain packages look like, but the full package doesn't matter. I care that you are getting with a guy who, when y'all are 65 years old, he drives you to your doctor's appointments. When your mother is battling a disease in the hospital, he's there with you 4 a.m. That's what I'm focused on. And that man could be white, black, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. Thank you. Beans for Protein said, what's your experience coaching women with narcissistic mothers? I'm going to say something that is going to be, again, controversial, but most Black mothers are narcissistic. So I have a lot of experience with it. And when I say narcissistic, I don't mean that I'm coming for your mother. What I'm saying is that narcissism often comes from severe neglect and abuse and trauma. And that's the lived experience for a lot of Black men. Oh, sorry, Black women. Black men too. Right? So I want to offer that. Okay. Someone said, I'm afraid of dating outside my race, mostly for intimate reasons. What if the D is pink and small? I don't know what to do. First of all, if the D is pink, you're not doing it right. If you're doing it right, it should be red. So don't be afraid of the pink. And if it's pink, realize you got more work to do. But if it's in the dark, girl, you're not going to see what color it is. And if you're so concerned about what color it is, girl, then he's not satisfying you to begin with. We're worried about the wrong things here. You're worried about the color and the size of the D. I'm worried about what private school my kids should be going to. We need to get our priorities straight. Yeah, I said red, girl. And? Yeah, honey, some of these white men are packing, girl. Okay, I gotta tell you something, girl, because I don't know if it's something in the water, but a lot of these Black men are not packing anymore. The YNs are packing. A lot of these Black men that are potential husbands are not. And let me know. Y'all probably been with them. Are they packing or is it like a womp womp? Womp womp. I'm seeing a lot of womp. A lot of womp womp. Yeah. Okay. People want to know who's packing for the white men. Italians. Germans. Dutch. I guess I do have to go over the D Olympics again. The Russians. Good number of Jewish. Belgians. Greeks. Spanish. But we just talking about white men right now. Once we get into that LatAm, it's over. Yeah, French too, honey. French too. Someone said all the Black dudes I've been with have been packing. Okay, good. Okay, good. The other thing that I think is important, because someone was asking earlier about, do I need to be attracted to him? I think you do need to be attracted to your future husband, and I do think it's very important for you to be satisfied by him. And a lot of these men are working with, or shall I say, not working with ED. Yeah. Someone asked Turkish. Turkish are not packing. They're not packing. Do you see this key right here? That's what the Turkish have, but they not opening your door up. If they're Eastern European, they're probably packing. They've been through some stuff. I think you have to go through some stuff to start packing. I don't know. Koreans are not packing. Okay, if they're packing, I'm gonna have my kitty cat that I got from Japan answer. Croatian, Russian, Jamaican, not Indian. Irish, they've been through something. They packing, girl. My first boyfriend was Turkish. Someone said in the comments, Turkish are not packing, talking from experience. I know, it's so sad. It's so sad. Jessie J say, and were you cutting the fuck up tonight? Am I, girl? Or am I just doing me? Am I just doing me, girl? Am I just doing me? Haley said, how do y'all know? Because, girl, we get it in. You know I've done research. First hand and foot research. Honey, I'm a researcher. I research. I did it for you all so that you didn't have to. I sacrificed my dignity. I sure did. For you all. So that I can disseminate this information. I put in hours. I put in back-breaking work. Someone said, thank you for your service. Why are you not saluting? I'm literally the Goodreads of D. I need some salutes here. I have put in service. Where are my VA benefits? Where are my D benefits? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You gotta do it at an angle and you gotta do it hard like some of these men like this, honey. Don't do this. Do this. That's what the real military men do. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. The things I've done for my country. God in my country. But you said don't date military. And don't. And don't. So, someone said, you used to be in the streets. I used to be in the streets. I used to be in the parking lot. I used to be in the homes. I used to be everywhere. For y'all. Oh, Lord. Yes, honey, boots on the ground, boots in the air. All right. Let me get back to my ladydom. What are the questions, ladies? What are the questions? Someone said, how can you confirm a man is DL? Well, send me a picture and I'll tell you. I know a lot of Mexican men DL information is coming out now. It's so funny how this happens. Don't ever say I haven't done anything for you all. Because I literally, years before things go viral, spill. I said, if he is Latino and he is an alcoholic and has daddy issues, he's DL. Guess what? Most Latinos have daddy issues. And have an interesting relationship with alcohol. I said back in 2021 that redheads are black. And that went viral earlier this year too. It's crazy. I feel like I'm Raven. Someone said, your take on dating separated men. We don't date separated men. Those men are married. In my 15 years as a dating coach, I will tell you that I've never seen a successful relationship happen with a separated man. Don't even do it. Why try? Why try? Anna said, you just described my baby daddy. Uh-oh. Getting too close. Getting too close. Ray said, I loved your podcast on horrible decisions. You're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So Taylor said, do your clients have to agree to get on dating apps to be part of your program? Yep. We date online and offline. And if that's something that you don't want to do, it's probably not going to be a good fit. We use the apps to practice the skills that you're going to need to be successful in dating and in relationships. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. But you're not going to be able to practice the skills that you're going to need to practice. And the reason I say that is, respectfully speaking, everyone in the chat, let me know, how many men do you meet in real life every week and exchange numbers with? For all the girls that are complaining about apps and things like that, how many men do you exchange numbers with a week? I'm seeing a lot of zeros. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Everyone's saying zero. So don't come to me talking that BS about how, I don't want to go on the apps. How are you going to meet anybody? Some of y'all working from home and living from home. Get your groceries delivered as well. Probably haven't seen somebody since February 2020. Someone said, but I'm embarrassed for the apps. Don't be embarrassed. 60% of relationships start from apps in 2025. Heavy D said, will you work with a client who has a physical disability? Yeah, of course. We work with all women. Some Bren It Girl said they be lying on the apps. They lie in real life too. The experience is not significantly different on the apps and off of the apps. Someone asked, any advice for prudes? Keep pruding these days. It's scary out there, girl. I don't know if you can see me, but honey, I have my legs crossed twice. Just if anything slips into this room and tries to get my kitty. So y'all should be doing the same thing. Meow. Keep pruding, girl. Okay. Cross them, girl. Cross them twice, girl. You know how some of y'all learn how to tie your shoes by double crossing? You got to do the same right now with your legs, girl. That's what you got to do. Yeah. Twice. Thrice for some of y'all, no shade. You heard me, thrice. Okay? Okay. What are some of the questions, honey? Let's get back to this dating tea. Because I want to get into it. I want to answer the real deal Holyfield questions. Hey, Shakluda. She said, I love your content. Thank you, girl. I meet the nicest guys playing pickleball and golfing on the weekends. Love that for you, girl. Keep on doing it. Someone said, cross some possum. I know that's right. Chanel said, yes, you got a warning. I get warnings every time I'm on live, girl. Because I spill tea. And ever since January 2025, a lot of content creators will not tell you this. The algorithm has significantly changed, and the kind of the oversight of content creators has changed as well. Do you know how much crazy stuff I was talking about in 2024 and before? I'm like literally a saint this year. I used to say some really ignorant things. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah. The app is super lame, and it's going to change. I think it's changing next month. So look out for more oversight, more filtering. I mean, here's the thing. I try to spill the tea because no one, a lot of people are not spilling it. So I want to make sure that you know how it is. And, you know, that's just it. When following all the dating rules, no one is left. Not necessarily. I think that, I think it's important to have a strategy. It's one of the things that I teach my clients when they're in the program. So if that's something that's of interest to you, definitely book a consultation call. The link is in my bio. But no, I just think that like 90% of the guys that are single are not relationship ready. Your job is to find the 10% through a strategy and then figure out from that 10% who's a match for you. That's what dating looks like right now. Queen C said, that's crazy how they let us see the notice. No, I think it's great. I think that you should see how they are, you know, treating my, these content creators. Okay, someone said, do you take clients for your Get Your Ring program if we already have a partner? We do, but we just need to talk about where you're at in the relationship before we take you on in the program. So for many of you, you might not know this, but I do have a program that I don't really advertise that much. It's not on my website or anything like that. It's called Get Your Ring. And so this is where we help ladies that we've gotten into relationships go ahead and get engaged. So that very viral, video that happened, that was a client of mine who was in my Get Your Guy program and then was in the Get Your Ring program for a couple of series. I've been working with that person for a couple of years. So we help people get engaged. That's what we do. Okay, they're saying, please go live on YouTube so we can send super chat. I don't know what that is, but you know I'm old, right? You know, I don't do what the cool kids do. But let me try. Let me try what you're asking me to do. Okay. I think I'm doing it. Here we go. Now we're doing something. You need to understand I have 3 screens right now, and it's a little crazy. Okay, you're not old. It doesn't look old, girl, because she's had her hair transplant, she's got her teeth in, her skin routine is super intense, so it doesn't seem that way, but girl, I got 3 kids. The body is snatched, I've snatched back, all that. Someone said, what's your YT? Are you asking about my white man? I'm not going to tell you his name because he's my white man. Ladies, don't say YouTube in here like I don't know what that girl's talking about. Please give me a little bit more credit than that, hunty. My YouTube is at Dating Coach Anwar, just like every other place. Girl, I'm not dumb. She has a master's. She speaks 6 languages. She gets the girls together. Don't do that to me, honey. Whatever you do. Alrighty? Someone said, OMG, OMG, OMG. Someone said, you just said you're old. True tea, you got me, girl. You got me. Okay. Questions, ladies. Hello on YouTube. They've been begging me to go live on there for at least a couple of years now. So I've given you what you want. Yeah. What are the top 3 dating app recommendations right now? Well, I will tell you this. Don't go on Bumble. Bumble has been horrible this year. So if you're on Bumble, you're not getting any live, you're not getting any play. Don't do that. Okay? Whatever you do. Yeah? Well, but the thing about it is that these apps are seasonal. Last year, I would have told you that most of my clients are getting their life from Bumble. And Hinge in 2024 was a no-go. Okay? But now it's flipped. So I feel lucky to do this work and to live in it, to know and to understand how things are shifting. Someone said, how to not be perceived as the good time girl, even when you are very modest and everything. Sometimes you'll be perceived as the good time girl when you have major curves or a big chest, and there's nothing that you can really do about that. What you can do is make sure that you have boundaries. Okay? Your boundaries have to be tip top, and you have to go very slow on intimacy and make sure that you're dating with some significant boundaries early on in the process. But what does that mean? So to make sure that you're not a good time girl, and respectfully speaking, some of these men will think because you're curvier that you're a good time girl. Do not engage with these men after 9:30. Do not take calls whenever. Do not just talk on the weekends or in the evening times with these men. When you go on dates with them, you need to go on dates with them in public places. Don't let them take you to some really like dark restaurant or outside of the city centers, because that's what they will do for the good time girl. They will hide you. Okay? So, wanted to share that. That's how you get out of that. Because here's the thing. You're going to attract a lot of different people, and a lot of different people are going to put you in a variety of different categories. You just want to make sure that you're engaging with the men that are going to make you the dream girl. Yeah? Okay. Let me see what's going on here. If you got a question in the chat, especially YouTube, put a little star before your question so it pops out at me. Okay? Feminine Fuel said, can we role play flirting? Sure, I love to flirt. I'm a big old flirt. But before I do that, someone asked about, what do you think of the dating app BLK? NO. What do I think about BLK? I will tell you 2 things. One of my clients went on BLK, and I did not tell them that they should go on BLK. And within 15 minutes, she was talking to a guy, and he said, I just want to let you know that I'm married, but I still want to meet you. 15 minutes, girl. What? Excuse me? I mean, at the end of the day, BLK has a lot of men that are like those cousins that everybody talks about because they are always in trouble. You know those cousins that go on walks and comes back? Those cousins. You know the cousins that come in and you wave from a distance? You don't go up and give them a hug? Those cousins. Yeah? Okay. Let me see. Okay, I love the stars. Do you help religious women too? I'm Catholic. Sure do, honey. We sure do. What does it mean when a man pulls away? Well, it depends. If it's within the 2 to 3 month mark, he might be pulling away like a day or two because he has to get himself together to become exclusive with you. And some men need a little bit of time to like get their minds and their spirit together for that. But if it's any time before then, they're pulling away because they're not into it. You have to understand and think, oh, like, would my future husband do this? And oftentimes your future husband won't do that. They're just not ready. They're not into it. And that's okay too. Okay? SD said, why do guys unmatch with me right when I make contact with them? Well, girl, what's your opener? That's what I want to know. Yeah? Juliana said, why do men need to be afraid of you? I think that it's important for men to be a little bit afraid because a lot of men don't respect women, but they respect what they're a little bit afraid of. And that's why I say that. When they respect you and they're afraid of you, it also is going to be because they don't want to lose you and that you are very important. And they're putting you on a pedestal as a queen and that you are. And you should be put on that pedestal, by the way. And if you're not ready to be on that pedestal, that's internal self-esteem and confidence work that you can do in my program, right? Or work that you need to do on your own. So if anyone needs help with that, definitely go into the link in my bio and book a consultation call. Okay? So, hope that helps. Someone said, do you believe in the one or soulmates? I think that people have a lot of different soulmates because people are ever evolving and changing. You change every 7 years, right? I always say, think about the room. Think about a room where all of the people that you've ever met in your life are in that room. Who are you looking for first? That's probably your soulmate. Outside of yourself. But ultimately, you should be your own soulmate. Yeah? Yeah, sometimes it's a friend or a best friend. But this is important. So, that's how I think about this because, you're not the same girl that you were at 25. So the person that is going to be with you at 25, that's why a lot of people really truly grow apart. And you might need another person that's going to meet you where you are and where you're going. That's the important thing here that I think a lot of people get confused about. And it is this. Sometimes people date and marry for who they are now and who the person is now, not where they're going to. And that's not about marrying for potential. This is about marrying for alignment. Alignment means that you all are going in the same direction. If you're going this way, he's also going this way too. Right? This is about alignment. Jen said, what did you get your bachelor's in? Statistics. I literally am a researcher at heart. I look at the statistics. So the things that I'm saying are not just because I'm talking ish. It's because it's research, not just within books, but also in my experience. I've been doing this for 15 years. I have thousands of data points on every question that you've all asked. That's why I can answer it so quickly without thinking, right? Whereas maybe some of these other girls, they're always waiting 5 seconds before they give you some BS answer. Yeah. Ray said, are you a Cancer or a Virgo? I'm a Cancer Sun, Virgo Moon, I think. I'm new to that tea. Someone said, if you're 48, is it too late? No. If you're a woman of color, I need you to understand that a lot of you will marry from the ages of 35 to 45. So oftentimes you're comparing yourself to this white girl timeline that's between the ages of 25 and 35, and that's not it. You literally do yourself a disservice when you do that. You know? Yeah. Okay. Let's see some question. Is 6 months too early to change home keys? I think every dynamic is different. That would be something that I would be looking at the 1 year mark. But again, I don't know what your dynamic has been looking like, so that's why it's dependent. Sybil said, why is a Black woman's timeline later in life? Well, I'll ask you, when did y'all start dating? What I know for sure is that a lot of Black women started dating when they were in college. Late teens, early 20s. 20. Give me the ages, ladies. 18, 23, 19, 16, 17. If I ask the same question, right? I'm looking at the average now. The average is 20. 19, 20. If I asked the same question and I was talking to mostly white women, the average would be 12 or 13. So I say this to say, okay, so we're starting later. We're starting later. You're starting at 18 or 19. So what that means is that your 20s are going to be like other people's teens. Your 30s are going to be like your 20s. And your 40s are going to be like other people's 30s. Yeah? So we're starting later. Our timeline is later. Also, we have to think about your consideration set. Okay? What does that mean? That means that, unfortunately, and I say that because I want all Black women to date everyone, most Black women, the marriage rate is 92% for Black men, even though their marriage rate is closer to 75% Black women. And that goes even crazier when they're wealthier. The average age for Black men to marry is 35. The average age for other racial groups to marry is 30. That 5 years is a significant difference. So many of y'all are waiting for these guys to get their ish together because they're not where they're at in their career. They don't have the money to actually create a family, oftentimes, which makes it, take longer to settle down and get married. So hopefully that answers your question in terms of why the timeline is a little bit different. Yeah. Okay, let's see what the girls are talking. Someone said, I think I need a session, need to get married and not date forever. Book a consultation call, girl. The link is in the bio. And we'll help you transform. Because that's really what the program is about. Transform the woman that you are. And thank you all so much for all of the loves, the likes, the thumbs up, the hearts. We have 107,000 likes here on TikTok. Tani said, I booked one and no one called. I took it as a sign. Interesting. I would do it again. I don't know what happened here. But did you apply? Because sometimes some applications are not approved. If not, I would book it again. Tisha said, what is your success rate? So what is success to you? Because we have a lot of different KPIs in my program. And I said, what about marrying a second time? What about it? User 0919 said, can I book from Germany? Yes. I have 2-3 clients in Germany right now. Yeah, if you're outside of the US, you can still apply. We have women all over the world. Okay, women in Korea, Japan, England, all of it. Colombia, Brazil, France. Shay said, can you give us an update on the book and show? Respectfully speaking, I'll be able to talk on some of those things in about 1 to 2 weeks. Okay? We have to keep it cute and mute for right now, unfortunately. Yeah, good. Okay. Someone said best apps for international dating. It's really country dependent, so it really depends on what country you're in. Liz said, oh, are you tired, Anwar? I wouldn't say I'm tired. I'm actually quite relaxed. I'm chilling. Jojo said, do you deal with women who are married but want to change? It would be something that we would look at in the consultation, right? We're wanting to work with women, if you're already in a relationship, to make that relationship better. Yeah. Paris B said, do you think or believe that the majority of white women get what they want in relationships more than black women? Yes, but for certain reasons. And those reasons are that I think that their consideration set are able to provide the things that they're asking for more. That's number one. And number two, and someone in the chat put it in here, they have WWA. Which is White Women Audacity. They ask for things that a lot of women of color don't ask for, just based on how they were raised and what space that they're taking up in this world, right? They have the audacity to ask for things. Let me ask you this. When is the last time you asked for help? Because I will tell you, most Caucasian ladies, they're asking for help a lot. I'm saying rarely, never. Hired movers. I'm not talking about paying people to do things for you. I'm saying, girl, that the chat's not going as fast. What's happening here? Nobody wants to talk? Nobody, never, rarely. Right. So, this is what I help my clients do. And you can't just ask for help. There's a way to communicate to get what you want. A lot of you all are scared of rejection and other things. I literally just did a rejection session for all of my clients last Thursday. But do you understand that you're gonna have to heal that rejection wound to get into the best relationship of your life? Because your guy is gonna wanna help you with anything and everything, but you're going to have to ask for that help and tell him what you need help on. Via said, I just started asking from your live last week. Check out my live last week if you want to know how to start to communicate. I gave you a little bit of that tea, not all of it, and the girls were gagging on it. Yeah? Someone asked, what books are you reading right now? I'm reading, I always have my books on my desk because I read every day. Not like some of my illiterate other coaches out there. Dating a Nigerian Man. Because, honey, I want to make sure that these Nigerians are not pulling a fast one on you. So I got to know all the tea. Someone said Anwar say their names. I don't want to start beef. Do you know how many other dating coaches hate me right now? I can't start beef. And then The Silent Feminine Power. So these are the 2 books I'm reading. I generally read about 2 to 3 books at a time. Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. I'm not going to name any names, but I will tell you this. I have not met a male dating coach that I've liked or believe. Because I think most male dating coaches, straight ones, are manipulative and narcissistic in nature. So, do with that what you will. Snow said, will your program help me date outside of my race? Well, with a name like Snow, it doesn't sound like you need help, girl. You already in the snow. Someone's asking about Russell Hartley. Do you know he's a red pill guy? That's what his content was about before he started doing this dating thing. He's not a dating coach. Tony Gaskins, I think, is pretty good. But he's stepping out of the dating coaching realm. He's doing his own thing now. Okay, I'm not going to get into these names. Okay. Yeah, Tony Gaskins is great, but he's not really doing the dating coaching thing anymore. Okay, so shall we do a little bit of flirting? Shall we? Do y'all know how to flirt? Do you know how to banter? Y'all are singing that song No, 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 No by Destiny's Child circa 1998. Someone said, do you ever let us call in on here? No. If you want to interact with me directly, you need to be in my program, number 1. And number 2, I really hate those lives where people are calling in because a lot of people talk too much. T said, you were right about the pretty boys not being good in bed. I know, girl. I know. No tea, no shade, no shade, no shade, no shade, girl. No shade, no shade, no shade. They yap. And I can't have that on this live. I'm the only one that needs to yap, honey. Yeah? Okay. So before we get into the flirting, why do you think flirting and bantering has been very hard, challenging, and complicated for you? Fear of vulnerability, never learned it. I'm on the spectrum. Shout out to my spectrum girls. Scared of rejection, not much experience, don't want to come on too strong. So this is why online dating can be a really important tool for you, because you get to practice how to hone the skill of flirting and bantering, right? So that you can feel very comfortable doing it. I'm blunt. Okay, no problem. The interesting thing about flirting and bantering is that your goal in flirting and bantering cannot be, I gotta get the guy. It's very important. The goal of flirting and bantering has to be, how can I crack my own self up? How can I twerk myself out? That's what we're looking for here. We're not centering men when it comes to flirting. And that's a rookie mistake, because a lot of people, if you're trying to center men and you're trying to twerk them out, then you're just performing. And I would have stage fright too if I was performing with an audience that didn't know me. Yeah? Okay. So, one, flirting is about you. It's not about them. Ginger said the shape-shifting podcast episode was really good. Thank you so much. My last episode on my podcast, the Get Your Guy Coaching podcast, was all about how women of color, women in general, shapeshift. So definitely take a listen to that if you have a chance. Yeah. So, second step is understanding, and it sounds really bad, but what doesn't coming out of my mouth? But it's helpful from like a mental state. The podcast name is Get Your Guy Coaching, or you can just search my name, you'll find it there, anywhere you listen to podcasts. One of the things that happens quite a bit is that women will automatically put men on a pedestal when they're talking to them. It's hard to flirt with someone who is already on a pedestal. The dynamic is different. And it's not your fault, ladies. We're blaming the patriarchy for this. We're blaming your mom giving your brother privileges that he did not deserve, or, letting your dad do whatever, however, because it taught you from a conscious and subconscious level that men get to do what they want and you have to kind of serve them versus doing your own thing. Okay, so it's not your fault. I'm sharing all of this so that we are being really clear and understanding that you're gonna have to flip that on its head. you're going to have to think that you're on the pedestal, aka your throne, and he is, I always say this, but it's so true. Do you remember the Michael Jackson music video, Remember the Time? And Iman was on her throne as the Queen of Egypt. And all of these men, these jesters, clowns, knights, were trying to perform and get her attention. And she would say yay or nay. That's the throne that you need to be on. And so, just me saying this, how do you feel understanding that you're on a throne and all of these guys are trying to get your attention and trying to get in your good graces? How does that feel for you? Because my hope is that it feels very different than feeling like a second-class citizen to a man. My hope is that you feel empowered. My hope is that you feel amazing, that you can do anything. And when you're feeling like that, it is going to be very helpful. It's going to be easier to flirt and to banter because it's your world and they're just living in it. You're the main character. You're not the girl and she's all that. You're not a prank. So, this is really important in terms of mentally where you have to be a bomb flirter and banterer. Okay? Someone said, how do you remain in your main character? By realizing that your life is a movie and that it's your movie, right? A lot of women of color, specifically Black women, have often never felt like the main character because one, when we were growing up, the household is centered around the parents. Whereas in many white households, the households are often, not always, centered around the kids. And so you're used to centering parents and being second class. So sometimes it's harder to become the main character. That, on top of the fact that you have society telling you that you're not. But you are. Yeah, Bevy said, we're always the side characters to our white friends. Yeah, let's get out of the funny, fat best friend on a Hallmark movie shtick. That shit is really tiring. Yeah? The way that I think about staying in my main character, and I think it's going to be a really easy way for you all to do it as well, is to pretend like you are throwing a house party at your house and you're the host. What do you do as a host? I'm talking to everybody. How are you doing? Make yourself comfortable. I'm making sure I understand everyone's tea, right? I'm getting into the gig. You're the host. Everywhere you go, it's your home. Right? So yeah, you're working the room. You're getting to know people. You're being that girl. That's how you stay in your main character. Yeah. The other thing that's really helpful too is before you're going out, and most of you all do this already, put your song on. You gotta have a song. That song where when it's on, you're everything. It helps you get into that mindset. So, what song is that for you? Let me see if I can find my Spotify and I can share with you what song it is for me. Daddy's Home by Usher. Golden, Ran Out, Bad Girl by Usher, Anything by Beyonce, SZA, Mariah Carey Fantasy, okay, what else do we got going on here? Nasty Girl, Vanity 6, Turn on Tiana Taylor or Kehlani, Put It on the Floor, Big Frida. Y'all crazy. Victoria Monet. Yeah. I am waiting for this Spotify login code to come through, sweetie. Formation by Beyonce. Okay, let me see if you know about this. Who knows about this? Who knows about it? Yes. All right. Let me calm down, girl. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. So that's one of my songs. That's one of my songs. Okay? Do you want to hear another one of my songs? I have to bring it down. 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 Okay, you want to hear another one of my songs? Some of y'all might not know about it. Oh. She's my best friend. She keeps it real. I love my pussy. Pussy pay my bills. Someone said, oh honey, you were a mess at a time. Okay, let me cut this down before they you know, I don't know how to pause this. Okay, here we go. Whew. You forgot about that? Okay. I just had to give it to you so you can understand what sort of vibe I'm giving when I want to get into my flirt tea. So the first song was Truth Hurts. Second song was from Jackie O. Yeah? So I'm so sorry for the YouTube girls I couldn't hear it, but I was getting it, as you can see. We got to get into that sort of energy. So talk to me about like when a guy says something, what do you get stuck on? Like, you know, if he says something or certain situations, give me like, you know, give me certain situation. Someone said I never get stuck. Okay, great, girl. When he asks to pay, I feel the need to take over. Why? Don't do that. So Val says a response to a compliment. Well, that's really easy. You get to say thank you. Or you can say, I'm sure you compliment all the pretty girls. You were raised right. You're such a gentleman. Thank your mother for me. Right? What am I doing there? I'm saying, I know I'm a pretty girl. I don't live for your compliments. You're going to have to give me more for me to really live for them. So I'm making him work. Do you understand? When he asks you how old you are, there are two responses. One is a true lady never, you know, shares her age. Or two is, you're all up in my business. Why do you want to know so badly? And now he has to come up with excuses or why he's asking. Or three, you can just say, this is very rude. Very rude. I thought that you were more of a gentleman than that. Now he has to prove himself that he is actually a gentleman and prove me wrong. See how I'm making these men work? See how I'm making these men prove themselves to me? Also, while I'm saying this, ladies, and some of the gay dudes in the audience, in the chat, do you see how I'm moving my neck? Do you see how I'm moving my head? I'm giving nape. I'm giving, because these men are vampires. They want to chomp on you. Okay? So you give them that. Really? I'm really surprised. I thought more of you. Monique said, you can't give nape on the app. Sure can. You sure can, honey. Put one, girl, you put one of these and a vampire emoji next to it, girl. You know? Okay. Okay. So. K-Tick said, wait, why not say the age? Because we're not at the doctor's office. That's a question a doctor asks you, not a man that's courting you. We don't engage in things that are not romantic. That's why. Yeah? In dating, you don't have to answer any questions that you don't want to. Most of you find dating exhausting and boring is because you're answering all of the questions that a man poses to you. You don't have to answer any one of them. You know, when you have celebrities doing interviews, most of the time they're not even answering the questions that are asked of them, and you get to do the same thing. So for anyone that just answered that question with your age, you get a C minus. Someone said, we think all questions are required. You think all questions are required because you think that when men don't answer your questions, they're being sneaky, and you don't want to be coming off as sneaky. You have to understand that this whole dating thing is a game, and you get to have fun with it. This is all fantasy. This is all imagination. And you get to live in that. That's what makes dating fun. But for many of us that don't know how to let go and to have fun in dating, and you're taking it so seriously, then it's gonna be a freaking Q&A panel in a conference all day, every day. I would be bored and I would be exhausted too. It's all play. So, just do one more question and then we're gonna move it along. This is the sort of work that we do in my program, by the way. And we go deep. I give you language. I really teach you the ins and outs of bantering so that you know how to do it. Because without it, you're not gonna deeply connect with a man. Men connect by razzing each other. Sit around a group of guys and they'll just start talking ish to one another, teasing each other. And they like that. Yeah? Yeah. Shondo said, when he asked, why am I single? I don't know how to respond. Well, you can just answer by saying, if he says, why are you single? Why are you asking? Do you want to change my relationship status? And now he has to come up. Do I? Can I? He has to come up with something. See how I didn't answer the question? And now it's on him? No shade, bitch. You're not on the fucking witness stand. You don't have to answer any questions and you don't have to be interrogated. Put him on the hot seat. Bailey said, that's deflecting though. It's not healthy. It's not deflecting. It's actually a boundary that you express through banter. Yeah? And you get to banter away your boundaries. Alrighty? Again, this is all, you think it's deflecting because you're literally taking this way too seriously. It's not real. These conversations that you have with these men. Do you know that 97% of the men that you talk to in dating, you will never have a third date with? He's not your man. It's not real until you want to make it real. Until it's actually real. So, you gotta lighten up. You have to be light and flowy and talk your ish. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to join my program probably. The link is in my bio to book a consultation. Black Swan Girl said, lightening up is so hard with men, but I know you're right. It isn't as hard as you may think once you get started. Because when you say things like that, you're centering men. When you're focused on your own self-pleasure, which is what this is all about. I think IG is frozen. Then it's child's play. You're taking it so seriously, girl. This is not the MCAT. This is not the bar. It's not the GMAT. Okay? Someone said, oh, I took the MCAT. I know some of y'all did, honey. And you treating dating as if it's med school. Yeah. So, I hope that's helpful for you. If you want to get into this more, if you want to learn how to do this and not just learn how to do it, but be a master in it and tell these men, tell them what to do and have them eating out of the palm of your hands based on your own feminine energy, book a call, get into my program. Avery said, what does it mean if they yell at you? First of all, if a man yells at you, you should leave. Yelling is verbal assault and verbal hitting. Yelling is a gateway to abuse. It's, like a gateway drug. First, there is verbal abuse, then emotional abuse, and then financial or sexual abuse, and then physical abuse. Don't be with men that yell at you. It means that they don't know how to regulate their emotions and they're probably not disciplined individuals. Avery said he's been yelling at me since we met. It's been 2 years. No. Sometimes when you're not in, when you're in a situation, it's hard to see it from an outsider's perspective. And one of the things that I would just share with you is, what would you say if your best friend was in the same situation? What would you say if you had a child that was in that situation? Because sometimes it's easier for us to see it happening with other people, for us to see it clearly, than it is when we're experiencing it ourselves. I hope you see all of this support, Avery. We want you to go. Okay? Yeah. Some of us are totally fine with men yelling at us because our parents yelled at us. So we think it's normal and we think it's familiar. And it doesn't ring alarms in us because it's just what we're used to. So I do think it's important to just hold space for that. But also, what was that movie? Gone Girl. You need to be gone. Okay? Okay, good. All right, ladies, I think I'm going to go. I hope that this live was helpful for you. This was my first time live on YouTube. So for my 400 people on YouTube, my 350 people on Instagram, and my almost 900 people on TikTok, thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. Thank you for the 155,000 likes here on TikTok. if you want to do this work more deeply, right? Because I'm literally just touching the surface of it on these lives, and you are serious about getting into an amazing relationship in the next year, please don't hesitate to book a call. We're not scary. We're not going to bite you. We're here to help you. So lovely, Ray said, I got you on 3 different devices. Girl, thank you for that. I love it. I absolutely love it. JNT said I need to book a call. Book it. www.getyourguycoaching.com/apply. Okay? And we'll go from there. All right, loves. Be well. Bye-bye.